All right, party people, what's going on, man? The light is green here on the software, which means we should be streaming. I believe we are. Yes, we are. There we are. So welcome to all of you guys who have tuned in, you guys who are here early, for you guys who will be coming in later or watching us on the rebound or listening to us on the rebound. We appreciate that. Welcome as well. Probably will be somewhat of a shorter show tonight. That's kind of tongue-tied right there. Shorter show. Probably be somewhat of a shorter show tonight. As you can see, we're getting started a little later. But again, man, there's not a whole lot to talk about around this time of the year. So we'll try to hit a couple quick points, and we'll see how far we get. If we go to 10, we will. If we don't, hey, it still will be a good listen. But anyway, man, I figure there's no need to beat around the bush. We normally like to go around and say how our week has gone. I'm assuming the week has gone pretty well for both of us. So we don't really have to touch on that. There's no football to reflect on as far as our teams, what they're doing. So I don't know if there's anything outside of that we need to discuss. Yeah, I guess we can dive into the topics, man. And if there's anything else we want to dive into, we will. Lance Watson says, why can't I see you? It's because we don't show video on this particular podcast. We're looking to get back into it. I was actually going to do it tonight, but Skype was giving me a little bit of trouble with the video. So, ironically, yeah, I was going to do it tonight. Throw some of that nostalgia back on there where you guys can see us. And we might, get back into that because I'm pretty sure it is probably a little more engaging when you can see us. So we had gone away from it for a while, but I think we'll get back into that hopefully next week. But there's your answer. That's why you can't see us, was because we're not streaming video. But outside of that, man, here are the topics. Couple things to cover. Madden 19 is the latest patch. We want to talk about some of the woes that are going on with that we're hearing in the community. I have a video actually coming up a little later. It will probably be posted after this show is over. And you will see one of the biggest problems that people are complaining about. So we'll kind of talk about that, man, in terms of how the patches sometimes cause problems elsewhere, why we think that happens, and, what it basically means as far as the underlying problem, which is kind of what I'm talking about in the video that you'll see later. But then also, I want to re-emphasize the demand of franchise, man. I'll just say it like that. We'll get into that once we get there, but we really need to make a push, man. I mean, I'll wait until we get into the topic and I'll go further into that. But the other thing I want to talk about, and Smitty brought this to my attention, I'll definitely let him kick off the lead on that topic. Just basically, I called it NBA 2K19 Replication of Basketball. There's an outstanding video out there. Shout outs to Life Lessons 23. Man, outstanding video. The link is in the description. He's basically reliving Michael Jordan's career using 2K footage. What I can't confirm is I don't know if it's 2K19, 2K14, 15, 16. I don't know. All I know is he did a phenomenal job, and it just goes to speak, man, how when a game has most of the tools in place, how you can really have it replicate what you see, on the television, and that should be the goal. But anyway, those are the topics. I guess the first thing we'll talk about, Smitty, man, is to dive right in with the Madden Jazz. Let's see who all is in the chat. Shout outs to NY Kia, and C-Mad is in the building. TX Made, Niner, Obi-Wan, Dez is in the building. Oh, man, let's speak on that really quick, Smitty. Dez shouted out Bryce Harper. My Lord. Listen, man, when your boy Machado got his deal last week, I was about to lose my mind. Now, here's the thing about baseball, man. If I'm not mistaken, and I'm pretty sure I'm not mistaken here, just looking at the length of time and the amount. If I'm not mistaken, guys, baseball doesn't have a salary cap, right? Is that right, Smitty?
No, they don't have a cap. No cap.
And is it true that are these salaries fully guaranteed or somewhat fully guaranteed?
It's Yeah, it's guaranteed. It's guaranteed because even remember A-Rod had the same kind of deal. Except there was no. Now I don't know if there was a no trade clause in his situation, but he basically got his money. Even though they traded him to New York, he still got paid. Because he signed, because I remember them talking about on SportsCenter back then, they paid more for him than the owner paid for the roster to own the team back then. It was like 200 some odd $million, over 250 million or something like that for like 10 years on A-Rod with the Rangers, Texas Rangers. And he wasn't there the whole time, but he didn't opt out the contract. He was traded to New York, so to the Yankees. So he still got his bread, but yeah, this right here, he's just straight up. He's getting
that's nuts.
He's getting that bread. I mean,
nuts.
330 million over 13 years. 13 years. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's silly, man.
Yeah,
that's stupid money. I mean, think about it. And the funny thing is, guys.
Oh, he got two of them. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know he had two of them.
He sure did. Yeah, I was about to say that. If I was gonna say, think about A-Rod. You guys probably hear that blowing in the background there. That's my alarm I just set off with my car. It's funny, man. I have my keys in my pocket, and sometimes I sit on it, and it's right there in the garage. But anyway, yeah, man, A-Rod, I remember, I think he got a 200-something million contract. Was it the Rangers? I believe he was with, and then he got another one.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know he got another one, though. Oh, wow. That's crazy.
But look at how it has grown, man, since from that time, to when guys like my man Robinson Cano and all these other dudes. Look at how many people have gotten $200+ million contracts. Now they dipping in the threes. Basically, right. 2 guys in the last week or so have made $300+ million. My son playing baseball, man. That's all I'm saying. Hey, I might even put him in T-ball next year, man. Like, yo, that's just crazy, man. Crazy.
Yeah, either baseball or soccer. Baseball or soccer.
And you know what? I didn't even realize, because I don't follow it that tough. I didn't realize how crazy and insane, some of those soccer contracts can be too. Until I start seeing some of the big guys, the big names that everybody know. But I didn't realize it was a lot of money like that, contract-wise.
Oh yeah, they be getting paid. They be getting paid in soccer. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's soccer or baseball. Shoot. They get up, they get good and everything like that. Yeah, you get a decent contract at that climate. 13. So that's my whole thing is like, I mean, I understand the tenure is ridiculous, 13 years, but just considering that's not typical. Like, that's not a typical contract.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be balling for real to get that kind of contract.
Let me take a look. How old is Bryce Harper? I mean, he's at least. I mean, I'm thinking he's at least in his 30s. I'm not sure. Let me check. But that guy's got to. I'm guessing.
He's 26.
That's all. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I got him confused with somebody else. Oh yeah.
That's his prime. So yeah, that's his prime. Oh, yeah. That's everything. So yeah, that's his career right there.
Yeah, that's solid.
Unless they trade him or something like that. But that contract, that's his. That's his money. So he got it. Yep.
Wow.
And same thing, Manny. He 26 as well. So yeah, they just got paid.
Yeah, Manny is a monster. I like him.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, Daz, we appreciate you throwing that info in there, giving us a quick light topic there. Godspeed. I fully agree with you, man. It's a shame, you got the teachers of the world, those teaching folk how to do, how to live, how to earn, making pennies, man. It's a shame. That's how this country is, though, man. Very, very backwards in terms of that type of thing. But what's up, everybody, man? I see a good amount of people up in here, so we'll go ahead and knock these topics out. And, yeah, we'll see how long it takes us. So the first thing I want to talk about, man, I'll dive in on it first because I've actually had a small opportunity just to play a little bit of it in practice mode. You know, we had some discussion about this last night, you know, between, you know, myself and Smitty and, you know, some of the other, you know, we have a, you know, a Discord and all that where we, you know, conversate with other game changers and community managers, et cetera, et cetera. So this topic definitely had come up. I hadn't seen it, but for you guys who are unfamiliar, the latest patch. It appears that the latest patch for Madden, the February title update, has caused this crazy situation where the fall forward animation is kicking in quite often. I played it literally 10 minutes maybe today. And I was able to capture some footage. Like I said, you know, not self-promoting, but if you guys want to see the video, it'll be up a little later after the show. I basically just got to upload it. It's already uploaded. I just have to release it or what have you. But it's going to show you where typically what I'm seeing is if it's a one-on-one situation for the most part. I don't know if it's a certain angle that's triggering it, but you're going to get a situation where you're running back. And I've also done it with receivers. I did it with a tight end. They're basically running right into the defender, and they're falling forward a good 3 yards or so every time. Momentum is not playing out at all, which is kind of what I'm referencing in my video. That, you know, it's basically it showcases an underlying issue with the game. Because if, you know, if things like momentum and weight and mass and those type of things actually mattered, and if those things would augment and override or interrupt animation, you wouldn't even see an issue like this. That's a whole nother story that what I saw, and that's why, you know, you'll hear it, but that's why I posted the video that I'm going to show later. It reveals a worse problem other than it just being a, oh, something's broken due to the patch. But as far as the patch, Smitty, and everybody else, to me, we've been hearing for years from engineers and, you know, not just with Madden, but just people that work in the engineering field. Anytime you mess with code or you do any type of update here and there, you could break something else. But I'm looking at this point, man. We're talking about a patch in February that's causing stuff like that to trigger. It doesn't make me feel that confident about, number one, where they may be in terms of Madden 20. And number two, again, the underlying issues within the game. Now, I will be fair and I will say this. They could very well be doing some different things in Madden 20. Again, this is not breaking news or anything. Smitty and I have no idea. Y'all know usually when we start hearing information, you know, if we've been to EA, we usually give you guys an indication, not telling you what's going on, but we usually tell you guys, okay, guys, you know, we know what's coming. You know, you guys are gonna have to wait and see. We can't talk about it. Y'all haven't heard us say that, and the reason why is because we have not been down to EA so far for Madden 20. You know, if I should be as bold, Smitty, enough, and I'll even say it like this: by this time, we would have probably have seen something. But, you know, we haven't been included in those type of things yet. Now, do I know whether or not there's been any type of, you know, events, et cetera, et cetera? No, and that's not what I'm doing, because I know, let me say this too, Smitty. We got snitches amongst the community as well. I'm pretty sure somebody would hear us talking, and it'll find its way back to the certain people. Oh, I heard them talking about it. Listen, whatever. Y'all want to do that, do it. You know, go ahead. But what I'm basically saying is there hasn't been any events that we have attended. We have not gone to EA Sports in the current year of 2019 in regards to Madden 20. So we have no idea what's going on, right? So just to follow up with my point, it makes me a little concerned to see a title update in February that can still, quote unquote, break something. Like I said, I'm not trying to act as if a patch is supposed to be perfect, but at this point in the cycle, we're supposed to be patching things only to fix problems. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be stuff that you're doing that could cause problems somewhere else. I saw somebody bring up a good point on Twitter today. They said that if you look at the patch notes, one of the things was in reference to something about tackling. Let me see if I can find it. And shout outs to Smooth as I'm looking. If I could get the round of applause button up here.
So my man Smooth again with the donation.
Let me see.
$5 donation. Appreciate that.
Did y'all hear it? Nope, it ain't working right. So we'll do it like that. Round of applause. Something's going on with my Stream Deck. I took an update, so maybe maybe I got to configure it again. But guys, let me see, Smitty. Do I have the patch notes here handy? Very, very, very quickly. Let's see if I can find it.
SimFBall or nobody. I feel you there, bro.
Let me see if I can find it, folks. EA Sports. But anyway, even if I can't find it, it had something to do with tackling. And basically what the guy was saying on Twitter, and I'll try to find it, while Smitty is talking, and then I'll come back. They were basically saying they bet that is a result of them trying to fix that issue. They've loosened something up too much, and now you're getting this fall forward animation, and it's bad, man. Because I think Gutfox put out a video as well. I haven't seen it, but I've seen a lot of people referencing that on Twitter. It's just I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of. I'm not just picking on EA, but we gotta pick on Madden because Madden seems to be the game that we always talk about. We don't have no choice, but and you know what, Smitty? It might sound like we even going against our own principles when we say, look, I know it happens in every game, but that's kind of where I'm at with it. All these games do have their problems, but we are constantly dealing with Madden in terms of negativity or something that we don't have or something that needs to be improved, or Madden is the game that's behind. So I'm sorry. If it sounds like that I'm coming down hard on Madden more than any other game, yes, I am. Because like I told Smitty, and I told you guys last week, and we'll maybe talk a little bit about that tonight, if the game had more depth, if we had a mod league in a football sense, maybe you wouldn't hear us complain as much about some of the problems. But since the game is not even up to snuff in that area, it illuminates all of the other issues for us to talk about. So I don't know, Smitty, man. What are your thoughts in general about just first, it being a patch this late in the cycle, and why is it that it just seems like every time this year they've tried to patch something, and either what they said was patched isn't patched, or it breaks something up?
I mean, I don't know, man. I really don't know. Like, it kind of goes back to like what Rex had said back then. We need to fix the game. We need to fix core elements and core aspects with the game. And marketing team said it wasn't, or whoever it is, said that it wasn't marketable, so he couldn't just go out and genuinely fix the game. And that's the one thing that I wonder about. What if they could genuinely fix the hardcore issues that, like as far as the game, there could be structural integrity issues within the game that if they were addressed, or if they had the chance to address, then we would probably have a cleaner game with a lot more, consistency, like in a good way. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I just really can't call it, because, like, there are some people, and Kia had pointed out to us a little bit earlier on the day, is that you have some people who are playing the game and they're saying, man, this game was good from beta. You know what I'm saying? like the beta of this game was just fine. They didn't really need to tamper with nothing else. The beta was cool. And that's the whole thing with this game. Like, it's like this, just like Sim talked about going to the studio and all that stuff. The funny thing is that every single time, I mean, every single time, me or Sim or us both go to the studio and play the game before launch, game is fine. Yeah, it's got its bugs because it's an early build, but in principle, it's fine. The core features they put in there and everything, it's working good. Just keep up. If anything, tighten it up. Clean it up, tighten it up, ship it. Don't do nothing else to it. Leave it alone. And and that game ends up going away especially once it's publicly released. And the thing is, it doesn't need to keep being, let's cater to this particular crowd in regards to the game. Let's cater to this, cater to that, cater to this. Like, it can't. They keep trying to cater, and that's why this game's not. That's why this game is not working. You gotta stop. You gotta stop trying to cater. And now cater to the sport of football. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Cater to that. And nothing more than that, because we're liking the game, we're liking the player movement, we're liking, I mean, listen, the quarterbacking is a problem. That's something they really gotta, like, they have to work on it, even regardless of development hardships, because that is something that I'll shout out to SGO on this, because that is something that they did talk about at EA Play. They interviewed them and talked about the passing placement and trajectories and stuff like that, and it's like, it's a systematic kind of thing. It's a system sensitive kind of deal where it's like they can tamper with it, but it can mess other things up in the game. And see, that's where, like what Rex has said before, fix the game, let us fix the game, and they say no. You know what I mean? Or potentially one, along that line. But I like I want to see some, like I want to see these guys actually cater to the sport for a change. Because the wild part is, Sim, and I'll throw back to you after this point, the wild part about it is that you got guys like Zan, okay, for example. And I'm talking about the comp stage because this is where the game is shown. This is how the game is played. It's on the comp setting and it's on that stage. That's where it's publicly consumed visually from people watching. Now, he put up a post today talking about how rocket catching is back in Madden 19. Hey, we got this ebook. Rocket catching's back, y'all. Check out our new guide. What? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh my God. It's like, are we seriously doing this again? Like, this is where the game is at. And then another guy got a shout out, my man Eric Rayweather. It's crazy because, his videos and everything are cool and all. Don't get me wrong, it's fine. But he's literally showing you how to exploit he's showing you how messed up the system is in the game, and he's showing you how to go online and cheat. He's not showing you X's and O's tips and tactics. No. He's showing you video game treachery tactics. That's it. Just literally showing you that. And guess what? And then on top of that, at times he'll do his videos where he's actually going in talking about the game being bad and the problematic areas that it has. So it's like you're doing two things at once here. You're showing how the game is messed up in one facet, but then you turn around and do a rant video talking about how the game is messed up in other facets. Like, dude, And I mean, I ain't mad at him. Get your money, do what you do, right? But you're showing people, hey guys, this is how you bust up Madden. This is how you break the game. And then you get flew out to the Super Bowl. Like what? Like you're rewarding that? So if you're rewarding that, then we should be going ham on the game then, and we should all be getting rewarded. Me and Sim should have been out there at the Super Bowl this year, if that's the case. Like if this is how we're gonna be doing it, and this is what I'm saying, man. Like it's. I mean, I'm just playing about that part, the Super Bowl stuff. But the main point, the thing I'm getting at is that when I look at the game, and like I brought up other esports before, other games, when you watch League of Legends, they're playing the game within the tactical means, adjustments, whatever it is within that game, because the game only allows you to do so much. When it comes to games like Overwatch, same thing. Call of Duty, same deal. Rainbow Six Siege, same deal. And Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, all those fighting games, same thing. You can't go on that stage and use video game tactics and video game treachery, aka glitch, try and glitch the system and take advantage of bugs and glitches and use that and just try and coast all the way home. I'm sorry, it's not happening in those other games I mentioned. You know what I'm saying? And if it was happening, they're getting those games out of there. You know what I'm saying? Those games would be long gone. They would not be allowed in tournament play. Madden, on the other hand, it's like, oh yeah, we know about those busted issues. We know about the glitches and the bugs, and nothing we can do about it. Like, what? No, what do you mean? Like, no. Something has to be done about that. Because like I said, it's just going to keep on. It's just going to be an endless cycle of it, going on and on and on. And I mean, all these people, look, Dubby, Dreamy, Problem, all these people talking about these issues with Madden, they're overriding their gaming experience and they're ruining it and all that stuff and everything else. But what are these dudes going to be lined up doing come August? They're not going to be waiting to say, man, I'm waiting for 2K. No, they're going to be playing Madden. You know what I'm saying? And we want the game to be great, but yeah, this stuff here is a messed up situation. Especially like you said, getting back to the whole title update thing, and it's just messy. It's just messy. Like we got Rocket catching back. We got super linebackers back in the game. The RPM is virtually nerfed out the game. I mean, the way that player movement feels now, feels like it's nerfed out the game, man. So it's like the pro elements, the pros that were a part of the game, it's like it's not even that same vibe no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just not, I don't know, man. It's just a tough situation, but like you said, Sim, now I'm with you 110%. Madden 20 is going to tell a whole lot. I mean, a whole lot. So, well, we'll see though, man. But I'll throw it back to you, man.
Yeah, man, I couldn't agree more with Smitty, and just to chime in on a couple of things really quick. Just to speak, in regards to Eric Wayweather. I always mess up saying my man's name. I mean, when I met him in person, I was like, yo, I cannot say your name fast. Eric Wayweather. This is the thing, and Smitty is not, he's not taking any shots, anything like that, nothing like that. Eric is actually a cool dude. I met him the last time I was down. What was it? The last time or the time? One of the couple times I went down last year, I met him at an event. Nice guy. But he is he's a YouTuber. And this is what I be trying to say. Sometimes when I see people in our community try to, go hard at those guys or be mad, you can't be mad. These dudes are YouTubers. You know who else is a real good, really close to me, and I consider him, closer than most out of some of the other game changers just because of the experiences that we've all had together. My man, Imav. Imav is one of the coolest dudes, genuine brothers out there. But he's not just a Madden player. He's a YouTuber. He's an entertainer. That's why his channel is as big as it is. I mean, y'all have no idea the type of stuff Mav got going on, business-wise. He's on a whole nother level. Guys like Anto, guys like QJB, these guys are just entertainers. So you're never gonna hear me talk down on those guys, because their biggest concern is not how do we fix Madden. We're the more extremist guys. We are the quote-unquote the sim guys of the Game Changer program, where we are always referencing authentic football. And then you have extreme, passionate franchise guys, which I actually put myself in that category as well, because most sim guys are franchise guys. But you have your passionate guys like that, your Shops, your mad scientists, your Sean Masons of the world, Bobbies of the world, Ronnies of the world. It's a bunch of guys. Mark Rollins. I mean, it's a lot of hardcore franchise guys that's out there. And if I forgot your name, y'all know it ain't nothing personal. I just can't ramble everybody off right now. Deuce Douglas. Super hardcore sim guys, franchise guys. But the reality is, again, like with Eric, he's just an entertainer. That's exactly what he does. He does what he does. He builds his channel. I ain't mad at him. He's over 100,000 subs. That's what he did. That was his intention, to be a YouTuber. But at the end of the day, what Smitty is saying, you shouldn't be able to do that with this game. You understand what I'm saying? It shouldn't be a point where, imagine if I shouldn't be able to do that personally. I could, but I shouldn't be able to show you, here's the best run in the game because of the glitch. Here's the best blocking scheme. Here's the best blitz because of the AI not recognizing. That's what we're saying. Not knocking what he's doing or anybody like that. Much respect to him. Look, this is YouTube, bruh. He's supposed to do that. He's supposed to build his channel and make money off of YouTube. What we're saying from a football standpoint, we should not be able to do that with Madden. It shouldn't be that easy, easily exploited that way, where you can literally teach people how to exploit something. That's where we come in and say, yeah, man, I ain't knocking what anybody's doing, but I don't like that the game does that. So let's talk about hot routes really quick, because I saw one of you guys reference that. Here's the crazy thing about hot routes. Again, I always got to give credit to my guys, Gibbs and Farles. They told me years ago when I first met them, look, man, I know people, y'all might not like how we play as sim guys, but look, the game shouldn't allow me to do that. They also told me how, a lot of times, even before me and Smitty were down, and, me, him, and Azure, years before that, how the devs really, and I know they're put in a tough position because they can only do what they can do with the resources. But the reality is, a lot of times this game ends up getting Band-Aid fixes, and they never fix the root of the problem. So what ends up happening later on, something else is implemented that counters the Band-Aid fix from 2 years ago, and now you got this problem again. I.e., you never really addressed the reason why people were able to rocket catch. You never really let me tell y'all about hot routes. Y'all remember when they took out the hot route where you could do like the post corner? Remember the one where you could basically you're doing like an outside post route? Y'all remember they just took that out the game? Reason being, I know what was said was, well, that's not a realistic da-da-da-da-da-da. But no, the realistic reason why that was taken out is because the game couldn't compensate for it. There lies the problem. There should be some type of coverage rules at that time. I'm not talking about now, because I honestly believe now, with the wave that in which A-Dub has masterfully put, and NY Kid will definitely co-sign this. A-Dub has masterfully put in logic that some people, let's be fair, some people don't even know. because it's so complex and still everything ain't there. And you know, it doesn't work 100%. But again, this is where I give guys, there you go, Kia, slant out. This is where I give guys like NY Kia so much praise, because Kia has consistently shown people what the game actually has to offer. Again, for you guys who are new to the show, Kia schooled me back in the day for Madden 11 when all he used to do is hear us trash Madden, but Kia would consistently be like, nah, man, well, actually, the game does actually do that. Have you played it? I never played Madden 11 until, you know, the demo came out and I decided to play it. And I said, dang, you know what? Kia's right. But I was so focused on just bashing. But anyway, my point is, Kia does a great job right now, even with Madden 19, fully showing you what the game has to offer in terms of cover 4, quarters, palms, match coverage, cover 2, cover 6. He's done all of that. So I think the logic actually, it could be put in the game now to combat slant outs and things like that. But originally, that's why they took it out. That's why they took it out, because the game couldn't compensate for it. Let me give y'all another example. Y'all ever heard of a nano blitz? Have y'all ever heard of that? So what did we get a few years ago, going back, I think is when it first came in. Y'all ever heard of this thing called nano detection? Let me ask y'all a question. In the NFL, or let's talk even on a lower level. A lot of you guys played high school football. Hey, some of us are even fortunate enough to play some college football. Was there such thing as a nano detection when we were on the field? What was the nano detection? Let me tell you what nano detection was. Me being in the backfield, and me and my quarterback and my linemen all on the same page where we like, yo, your boy's coming. Shift. Yeah, I was that crazy type of running back where I used to be like, yo, I would recognize, I learned that I would recognize what was happening the same way my quarterback did, the same way the line did. So when we knew it was an overload coming or what have you, we knew how to compensate for it, even on counter plays. Y'all hear me always go off on Madden when I say, yo, why don't these fullbacks and tight ends block the first guy that crossed their face? Why are they just focused on an assignment? Because from experience, a lot of times we would change even who the pulling guard was blocking. If we knew what was happening, if this is a play that they've been throwing at us all game, okay, yeah, on the fly, nah, you're going to kick him out and you're going to block him. So what I'm saying is, the game, Madden has consistently added things to try to combat other things, but they do it in an unrealistic fashion. Again, I can't always beat up the devs, because I don't do that. I don't beat up the devs, at least the devs that I rock with. I'm talking about the guys who I've spent a lot of time with, have developed a relationship. Rex definitely falls in that category. Clint, your A-Dubs, Mike Scantlebury, and there's others. There's other guys that y'all don't even know that, you know, they're not out in front. I know these guys have all of the intentions in the world, but again, y'all know what Band-Aid fixes come from. They come from not having resources. How can we fix this with the time that we had? That's what happens in there. That's what happens in there, man. And listen, this is why I tell y'all ain't gonna get it no realer than this. I'm not even tooting no horn. I'm just saying, y'all are not going to get it no realer than the way we give it up. Because let's be honest for a minute, man. I'm gonna go there for like 2 minutes and then we're gonna jump off of this. There are people that would do anything for money and or relationship. Follow what I'm saying here. You better believe that there's some people that would do anything to keep that cosign or keep that relationship with the devs and EA Sports and, you know, that moniker. They're in the program. EA Sports Game Changer. There's a lot of people that do anything for that. You know, they'll compromise things. I'm not one of those folks. And again, this is why I keep telling y'all, I don't know if this is going to happen. But yeah, I could definitely see, depending on the direction of Madden 20, I can definitely see a scenario where guys like SimFBallCritic, and I hate speaking in third person, or guys like Smitty and Azure, what they say don't have as much weight no more because we're not really moving in that direction. I see a world like that because I keep my third eye open. Even if it doesn't exist, I can still see remnants. I can see little brush fire, and maybe the fire gets put out and all is well. But sometimes the brush fire turns into a blaze. So I am prepared for the blaze. Meaning, if the day comes, well, guys, we're kind of going in a different direction and we're not getting invited to many things anymore, and I'll be prepared for that. Because what I'm not going to do is compromise myself just to maintain something. I could go a little deeper than that, but I'll leave that alone for a moment. But point being, man, listen. Until they allow those people in the building to go to work, I fear that we're going to be in this same situation over and over and over and over. And my daddy always told me, listen, if you do the same thing multiple times, you're just insane. I can't keep doing that. I just can't, man. They're going to have to show me, and shout outs to Mark, man, if Mark Rollins hears this. We had a little Twitter conversation today where, y'all saw what I posted, and I was just basically saying it's a shame how, you know what, Smitty, this will slide us right into the next topic. I basically posted a tweet. I'll read it to you guys, for you guys who didn't see it, and this is going to slide us right into the franchise talk. Let me find it here, guys. Give me a second. I've been getting on these soapboxes here lately, Smitty, sometimes, man. But, you got to let it out sometime. Got to share it with the people. Let's see. Yeah. Where is my tweet? Okay, SimFBallCritic says. Oh, I just lost it. Let me go back to it. All this technology, and I can't find one simple tweet. There we go. So it says, I'm a football guy before I am a basketball guy. However, and I put that in caps, I spend more time playing my league and entertaining my GM more than I do with Madden NFL football. I am a gameplay guy first, but please in capital letters, give me franchise depth in Madden 20. Will it happen? We shall see. So off of that, I got quite a few, replies, and right now it's up to about 58 likes. And my good buddy Mark said, let me find it. Mark put up a GIF and he says, "Don't hold your breath." and I'm thinking, I wrote back to him, look, I'm not holding my breath at this point. It's a prove me wrong more than I wait and see. And that's where I am right now with this whole thing, man. It's like, y'all got to prove it. I don't have the confidence anymore that I once had, because we saw, follow where I'm going real quick. We saw progression for a good 2-3 years. We saw it. Things that we were asking for were being implemented. Even franchise, Smitty. Because remember, it was that 1 year that they did a lot of things in franchise, and we can still say it was bare and compared to other, but it was a year where they implemented a lot of stuff. But then we were like, okay, now let's get another big implementation. Mm-hmm. We haven't seen that one yet. We haven't seen a second big jump. But all of a sudden it starts slowing down. And now our guy ain't even in the building. I'm just saying, man. Man, listen. We need to demand, this is the second topic, Smitty, and I'll throw it to you. We have to demand franchise updates as a community. I know what people are going to say. Some of you guys might even be thinking it. Man, we do this every year. No. I'm talking about a little different. we got to be very, 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 very vocal. I mean, if it takes you screaming loudly on Twitter every day, or if it takes more of you guys to do videos and keep berating them with videos with your frustration of the lack of franchise, we got to do something, because we got to go beyond the devs. We have to go beyond the devs. It is not the devs. You know, if I just didn't care about things like, you know, number one, holding my end of the bargain as far as keeping my word to devs and keeping my word to NDAs. If I didn't care about any of that, I could definitely share with you some of the ideas that the franchise devs have already had. So we have to go beyond the devs. We have to make this visible to those who cut the check. And what I'm asking for, I'm just saying, if you care. If you don't care, don't worry about it, because at the end of the day, it's a video game. It ain't that serious. I could very well move on and have a phenomenal life with or without doing this thing about trying to make Madden better. But while we're doing it, we have to make the folks that matter see it. And believe me, if we cause enough of a ruckus, they'll see it. Social media is very powerful. Very powerful. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. I mean, listen, I'm not saying how to do things, but, you know, we're not that loud. The franchise crowd ain't that loud. I mean, you typically see posts and OS, but that's just one post. You got to be loud with this thing. Loud. Because these comp folks, you see what they do anytime they upset. Your timeline is ringing. And you think the big people don't see that? Yeah, they do. They do. So all I'm saying is, man, we got to demand it. We might even have to go as far as Smitty, and I know this is hard for some folks. Might have to go as far as to stop playing franchise until it improves. Only concern I have there, though, to be honest with you, if that were to happen, it would be very easy for them to just say, oh well, we don't need it anyway. So that's kind of the catch-22 in that argument. But we got to demand it, man. We cannot allow this game to continue to be in the gutter, in the basement, when it comes to franchise, when it once was one of the kings of franchise. So those are just my thoughts there, Smitty. Many of us here, I saw Smooth, posted it earlier, and I meant to comment earlier, but he said he loves playing football more than any other sport, and that's why he keeps pounding the table. And I feel his pain. Why can't I have the same experience in my football experience as I do playing my league? That can't be too much to ask for. I'm a football guy. Basketball is cool, but it ain't football. For me, I'm just saying. I'm not knocking basketball, but I am a football head. So why can't I delve deep into and be immersed in my football experience? And I could go out here and do it in every other sports game. I can't accept it no more. I just can't. I'm going to be way more vocal than I've ever been about franchise, man, and we'll see what happens. But what you think, Smitty, man? Is it time for us to really demand change with franchise and stop, kind of poking around at it, but really go hard in the paint? Smitty, you there? I don't hear Smitty. In the meantime, let me read some of you guys' comments, man, while we wait for Smitty. See what y'all got. Let's see. John Wesley Dean says franchise crowd is not loud because most of the franchise people are true core players, and they're overshadowed by the young generation of the MUT players. Yeah, that's a great point right there. C-Mad says CFM reg players doesn't have a Kralo to go on social media and feel EA does that on purpose. Let me see if that round of applause works. Still not working, man. I don't know what I did to that thing. You know what? A shout out to Kralo. Again, Kralo, on a personal level, It's my guy. But I think what you're referring to, C. Madden, I'm going to go ahead and say it here as well while we wait for Smitty to come back. And Smitty, if you can hear me, just jump right on in. Kralo he's a MUT guy. And there's no harm, no foul with that. That's what he is. That's what he was before he was down with EA. That's what he was when he was a game changer. You know, with Mudhead and all of that. I mean, hey, I am not taking anything away from that. But the fact remains is you're very right. That's his mode. So obviously he's going to have an affinity for MUT. That's where he comes from. And I can't be biased about that because guess what I am? A CFM. And I keep saying that, and they've never really told y'all publicly, but it's actually just franchise now. They've gone away from the CFM moniker. But as a hardcore franchise guy, what you think I would be doing if I was the community manager or a community manager in regards to franchise mode? I'd be caping for franchise mode because that's my love. That's the hardcore experience. So, and I know you're not doing this, C-Mad, because you didn't frame it like that, but for people who, again, sometimes I sit back and watch some community members and they want to bash people that, you know, certain game changers and certain community managers. I'm like, you can't do that because these guys have a right to be a part of the crowd that they're in. However, but like C-Mad said, there needs to be the same type of enthusiasm and community managers for all sectors, all modes and components of the game. That, and because if you're not gonna have the one person carry all of that out, then you got to have multiple people that can slide in and represent for this guy, slide in and represent for that guy. You got to have a diverse community management. And again, let me tell y'all this for you guys that don't know. Y'all only see what Kralo posts in the public. He definitely cares about the game everywhere else. Don't get that twisted. He's always addressing gameplay issues and even franchise concerns, all of that. But again, if you come from a certain background, obviously you're going to be more involved in that area because that's where you come from. Smitty, I don't know if you're back yet, man, but again, if you can hear me, jump right in. I'm going to keep reading comments before we move on. Smooth says, Sim, can you do it in every other sports game because they are not your true passion? You don't see the underlying issues like you do in Madden. Hey, Smooth, you got a point there. What I will say is this, though. Perfect example. I don't know nothing about NHL. And you notice my pronunciation there. I didn't say nothing. I say, I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing about no NHL. However, what I do know, NHL 19 had a ridiculously robust scouting system. Right? That's all I need to know. Where is that at? In our football game. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not the basketball extremist either. But what I do know is there's morale and chemistry effects in my league. Even one step further, if you mess around and assign the wrong mentor to one of your players, it could affect the chemistry. It can affect his development and how the team performs. Where's that in our football game? You see what I'm saying? So I'm just talking about the generalization of features. But you make an excellent point. As much as we talk about FIFA being this game where it's perfect and this and that, I have plenty of people tell me, no, it's not. It's not the true sim. But I'm not looking at FIFA the same way they are. When I look at FIFA, I'm talking about the way the players behave on the field as far as body interaction, one-to-one interaction, animation, AI, physics, ball physics. I look at that, player movement. I look at those components and I don't see it replicate the same in football as far as Madden. And that's all I'm looking at. In terms of pace and all of that, I have no clue because I'm not a soccer guy. So that's what I mean, when I try to compare these things. I know it's not apples to apples, but there's some things that every game should be able to share. Let's see. Smitty, you back yet? think we lost Smitty, guys. So I'm gonna keep on reading, and if he's not back here in a few moments, I'll go on to the next topic there. I really want him to dive into it because he brought it up. Let's see what else we got. Godspeed says, I gave up on asking them for authentic gameplay. However, can we get franchise depth already? There you go. You see what I'm saying, Speed? That's what I'm saying. If y'all gonna take your time improving the gameplay, can we at least get the depth to take our mind away from it? You know why we can stomach 2K so much? Because it has its problems, but for the most part, 2K is solid. In my opinion, I see some people try to say the game is trash, but I just talked to my homie Dez on the phone the other day, and we both was like, yo, 2K is tough. Yeah, it's got its issues, but the gameplay is solid, right? But what makes it even better is the depth that overcompensates the problems that you know that are going to be in any sports game, any game, period. As long as the game has meat for you to hold on to, you can stomach the problems because you know it's just a game. But when a game doesn't have the depth and gameplay is suffering, it illuminates it. It makes you look at the gameplay and be like, we could play mostly about Madden because there's nothing else really there to take our attention away from the woes of the gameplay, man. It's just how it is. Hold on, man. Let me check with Smitty. Y'all give me a second, man. I'm gonna send him a text here. Let's see. I'm gonna keep rambling here just so y'all don't have to hear dead silence. All right, guys. So let's read a few more comments, and if not, I'll move on to the next topic, and you guys can continue to listen to me. 60 plus people listening to me. That's dangerous. Let's see what else y'all got up in here. What up, DJ? DJ say, I joined late. You already know my thoughts on this. I do, DJ. I definitely do, man. I think we all share the same sentiments, man. Like I said, you guys have been kind of hearing my frustration kind of build up, and I'm just getting to the point, man, where I mean what I say. You know, I need to see this game start to go back in the direction of improving in areas that I lend my expertise. And it's not, I'm not saying as if, oh, because I'm saying it, then they know how to do it. No, I'm just saying it's a lot of things that I want that the devs share that same passion, but they're unable to build on it. So where I'm at this point, man, is Madden 20 to me is a very, very big deciding factor. That's going to tell me everything I need to know about the direction of the company. Again, some people will say, well, we say this every year. No. This year is a little different, okay? We no longer have Rex Dixon. Carlos got himself in trouble. He's gone. I don't know this to be fact, but I think Mike Young has taken over as a creative director. That could be very positive. Mike Young is a genius, okay? But let's not forget, when Rex was in that position, Rex had great ideas as well. They still have to be approved by upper management. Upper management decides on investment, time, money, etc., etc. So that's what I'm looking at now. I realize that being down with the program for what we going on now, 7 years, 6-7 years, and I see the end of the road unless there's a shift. Y'all remember when I used to always say I got to see the culture change? That's what I'm looking for now. If that culture doesn't change, then I don't know if I still want to be a part, man. What's the point? You understand what I'm saying? I mean, feedback can always be given. You don't have to be next door, right beside them. That's what I'm saying. So 20 is going to tell me a lot, man, and it's really going to let me know what I really want to do going forward. Let's see. What else y'all got? Hollywood. Sim, what is your take on the animation triggering system in the game. Yeah, I kind of talk about that, Hollywood. I got a video coming a little later, man, that is basically talking about that problem with the patch, you know, the fall forward. And what I'm basically referencing in the video is that issue has revealed a bigger problem. The bigger problem with the game is that it's controlled so much by animation, which most games are, but here's the difference. Dice rolls and animation and all of that are in every game, but the difference is how you allow them to play out. Okay? 2K did a good job this year with reducing the amount of override in drawing in animation. I'm not going to say it's completely gone, but it's significantly reduced. FIFA does a phenomenal job with one-to-one interaction, as well as PES, right? But with Madden, it seems like the animation override kicks in so much. Look at all of the tackles that y'all have seen that you can't interrupt. Because weight and momentum and physics doesn't augment the animation at all times, you get these situations with the fall forward. That shouldn't happen. Wait till I show you the play that I got in that video. I mean, the safety is charging from the secondary on a blitz, and bam, completely everything shifts and the running back goes into that stale animation and he falls forward. Should not happen. And that's what I'm saying. The underlying problem there is that physics, physical mass, weight and momentum are not always respected. If they were, you would not have those situations. Like DJ said, NHL, let's not forget about how those interactions play out. And see, DJ, I know, would be right on board with me with this. I've been saying for years that it's EA Tiburon versus EA Canada. I strongly believe that there's something going on at Tiburon in terms of managing. Whoever manages the money and manages that office, and I'm talking about upper management. Again, I'm speaking beyond the devs. I'm talking about those who are controlling what's at stake in that building. There's the root of the problem, because look at how EA Canada has excelled with their products. Remember, some people are going to say, you know how it is, it's EA. And I see somebody just now just said it's all about the money. But wait, here's where I always have to counter that argument. It's all EA Sports. If it was just about the money, the rest of these games should be the same, in the same boat, correct? If all they wanted to do is just take your money, FIFA and NHL should be in the same boat as far as the way the game performs. And by the way, newsflash, FIFA sells way more money and makes more money than Madden in terms of sales. It's a much larger product. Yeah, MUT definitely draws in revenue. Of course we know that. But that logic of saying it's just about money, I can't go with that, because EA Sports as a brand, all of their games are not in the same boat. Why would we just single out Madden and say, oh, that's the one we're going to cheapen? And, no. That, to me, that logic doesn't make sense. However, money does get in the way. Again, it goes back to management. Who's controlling what happens with Madden? They're not concerned with everything else because the game is making money. So they don't feel like it's a need. In my opinion, again, this is just, speculation. In my opinion, there's no rush and no push for them to make this game the best it can be, because it is still making money. That is my feeling. And that's why I say those who govern EA Canada on some different stuff. They like, nah, we're going to make the best product and we're going to sell some units. FIFA and NHL is phenomenal in terms of just physicality, interaction, physics. Phenomenal. Should be the same way in Madden and NBA Live, I might add. And it is not. That's a problem. Let's see. Smitty, you there, man? I think we lost Smitty for the night, guys. So we're going to move on to the next topic. I'll read two more of you guys' comments, and then I'll just give my quick opinion on the next topic, and then that'll be it for the night. All right? So Smooth says, "Hey Sim, if you ran EA, would you change the culture to more of a sim-based game and run the risk of casuals stop buying the game?" Good question. Just to see if a sim-based game would survive and sell. The answer to your question, Smooth, is absolutely, but I wouldn't be running the risk of casuals stop buying the game. You know why? You know how many casuals buy NBA 2K? Plenty. You know how many casuals probably buy MLB The Show? Just because they're baseball fans and they just want to see a game that looks like their favorite player? The key is simulation is what sells to both hardcore and casual fans. Think about it. I'll give you a perfect analogy. Some of y'all would know that I'm an extreme boxing fan. You know, boxing and football are really my sports. Love basketball too. Love my Sixers. But if I had to say what are the two sports that I really dive in and I know the most about, it would be boxing and football. So in terms of boxing, right? A lot of people casually watch boxing. They're not really into boxing. They just casually watch it, right? And what they look for when they watch it, they want to see somebody get knocked out. They want to, they want to see the hype fight. Case in point. That's the reason why sometimes when you watch Floyd Mayweather, a lot of people would say, "Oh, that fight sucks." No, it don't. He's a technician defensively. I'll give you another guy, Guillermo Rigondeaux. Some of y'all might even know who that is. Technician. Some people would say his fights are boring. But I make this example because it's not an apples to apples comparison. But my point is, if it looks and feels like what you see, you're going to buy and you're going to watch. UFC fans would watch more boxing if they got more brutal fights. And they would just be casual fight watchers. Understand what I'm saying? So a casual football fan, they just want to see what they see when they watch the TV. That's simulation. They don't care about all of the intricate details. They would never care about that because they don't care now. Think about this. All of the stuff that NY shows on his channel, that's for us. The casuals don't even know why that stuff is working. They have no idea why that cover 4 palms worked. They have no clue. They just happened to call the play and it worked. That's my point. Casual fans will buy a game that looks and feels like what they see on TV, as well as the sim players. That is a fact, and at least in my opinionated fact. I know it ain't a real fact, but y'all know what I'm saying. So one more, man, then we'll move on. I saw somebody's comment, man. I missed it now. Let me see somebody. Yeah, Kia know about Rigondeaux. Yeah, I'm an boxing enthusiast, man. Let's see. I'll read Sick With It here. He says, Madden will always sleep no matter if it's sim or arcade for one reason. The NFL license. People want to play with their teams. I think you meant to say it will always sell. You know, autocorrect probably got you there. Don't you hate that? But yeah, you're right. And again, that's another reason why I feel like there's going to be a lot of trouble with any other company trying to jump in right now to make a football game. Madden has become way too big. Give credit to my boy AzureEffect who told y'all this 4 years ago. There was a window in which another company could have slid in. It's too late now. I promise y'all that. I feel like it's too late globally. Madden is too much of a household name. Competitive Madden. Follow what I'm about to say here. Competitive Madden has boxed out every other company from making a real football game that can compete. Especially if it don't have the NFL license. Forget it. Now, would we support a 2K XFL game? Sure. Maybe even an AAF game? Sure. We would. Hardcore guys. Ain't enough of us to make a difference. Ain't enough of us are going to sell it for them to stay in business. I.e. 2K8. All pro football. Yeah. The game that most of us say is one of the realest games on the field that we've seen, with its problems. Don't act like there ain't no problem. That game had a ton of problems. But for the most part, it's clean. Beautiful animation. Even the pocket and all that stuff. Quarterback movement. Ball trajectory. It had a lot of stuff. But, like I said, very few people bought it. See what I'm saying? So that's the point. It's over. It's over for another company to make another game unless the NFL license, if they decide, not EA, if the NFL decides that they're going to allow someone else to get a piece of that pie, it would even still take that company, even if it's 2K, would still take them a few years to catch up. And by that time, big money grips at EA going to open up that wallet. Now you got two phenomenal games. I would love that. But I don't think EA ever going nowhere. I mean, it could. You never know. Stock and things could drop. I don't know. I'm just saying, don't expect somebody to come in and knock out EA. I don't see it. In terms of Madden and football, I just don't see it, man. That relationship with the NFL is too strong. But all right, man, I'll hit this last topic. Flying solo dolo. You know what? Hold on. I should. Well, maybe next time. I was about to say I should rock the camera and let y'all see me for the last segment here, since it's just me. But whatever, y'all don't mind listening, and we're gonna try to get the visuals back in here, man, next week. I think you guys appreciate that a little more. But let's jump into the next thing. What I wanted to talk about, man, is where is it here? NBA 2K19, the replication of basketball. I don't know if you guys seen it. I'm gonna copy the link here really quick. I'm going to post it again. You guys have got to see this video. Shout outs to the homie Life Lessons 23. Phenomenal video. The dude recreated Michael Jordan's career using 2K basketball. I'm talking all the way back to Carolina, to the flu game, to the Byron Russell push-off. And it just goes to show, when your game is equipped to replicate the sport, how beautiful of an experience you can have. Whether you like 2K or not. When y'all watch that video, go watch that video, please. I'm going to keep posting this link. Watch this video, because I'm going to go ahead and wrap this show up here in a few seconds. Go watch that video and then come holler at me on Twitter. I'm going to give y'all a little homework. After you watched it, I know Kia has seen it. After you watch that video, come holler at your boy on Twitter and tell me what your thoughts were. Amazing. You can't do that with Madden. You can't. You can't recreate to where it really looks that good. I mean, you got to edit your butt off to make it look fly. And then the funny thing is, man, we talked about QJB earlier. Some of y'all don't even remember Q from them days. QJB came in the game editing. You know, that's how I first heard about QJB. And, you know, he reached out to me and Azure, you know, just because, you know, we were the voices in the community that just like we are now. And he was, you know, we was giving him love. We was giving him mad love. Like, yo, your editing skills is retarded. He used to do montages. And he made Madden look good. Matter of fact, Azure used to do that. Azure used to do a phenomenal job with that. But it still didn't look like it does in 2K. And shout outs to my man Shady. Y'all know Shady that does a lot of the 2K, you know, intros and videos, and he even did one for live this year. He can do that with 2K. Look how good those videos come out. So my point is, when your game is at a level where it can replicate sport like that, you can make those type of mock-ups and montages. You can't quite do that with Madden right now. You can't relive a career of, let's say I wanted to relive Troy Polamalu's career. I couldn't do it like that, the way this guy did this video. Gotta take a look at it, man. Here it is. Here's the link again. Sorry to be a little short on the topic, man, but it's tougher to delve deep into it because this was Smitty's topic. I'm sure we could touch back up on this next week. So I'm not sure what happened with Smitty there. Probably has some family situations to attend to. Listen, man, we're family, man. We do this as a hobby. This ain't our jobs, so it ain't like we can stop everything and block away this time. We have to do it in the midst of being fathers, husbands. I was about to say wives. Wow, being fathers and husbands. We have to, do it when we can. So I'm sure something came up there, especially with him having his newborn baby there. So yeah, we'll get back in touch with you guys next week. I'll stick around here for a few more minutes, man, to see if you guys got any other comments. See what y'all got. TGA says that's still just crazy. That's the whole point of a sports game. It has elements of realism. That was the worst idea ever to turn into a arcade game. Yeah, man. And C-Mad says he went from FIFA executive producer to CEO in 4 years with that move. Let me see. Let me go back and see who you're referring to. Okay, Andrew Wilson. He said Andrew Wilson's idea. He took it from another game and implemented it into FIFA when he was the executive producer. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Hollywood says he's seen the video. It's really nice. Yeah, it's amazing. Any idea on a new college game? Don't expect it until college players are getting paid. The Ed O'Bannon case, or was it Charles? Which one was it? I don't remember. One of them O'Bannon guys. That hurt everything. Companies, I think they are afraid, rightfully so. They don't want to take that leap and have another lawsuit out there. So I think until they can figure out, how if college players in the NCAA are able to pay those guys and compensate them some kind of way, or B, if they come up with some solution where the college athlete is able to have his likeness replicated or something like that, and it can be a contract, etc., etc. Until that happens, do not expect to see another NCAA licensed football game. Best believe the devs and the guys at EA want to do it, but don't expect that. Luke says, could 2K make a boxing game? Hey, don't let me bust your bubble, man. But listen, again, I'm an enthusiast of boxing, as well as I've been around playing these games for a while. Y'all remember when 2K had Prize Fighter? That game was trash. And I usually don't clown games like that, but Prize Fighter, Don King's Prize Fighter, I think was the name of it. Trash. They failed miserably making that game. However, that was years ago. Do I think 2K could deliver a boxing game now? Probably so. They probably could. I mean, they're doing their thing with the WWE. I've never played one, but I hear that it's a fun game. But yeah. That game, man, Prize Fighter was horrible. But yeah. I guess we'll go ahead and end it here, man. Enough of me being the talking head all alone. So let me go ahead and get out of here. Let me just invite you guys again, man. If y'all ever want to come on the show, please do so. Right now, we do it via Skype. I haven't checked the Skype here in a while. I actually just closed it out. But yeah, we do it via Skype. I'm looking into opportunities of getting more of a call-in line, kind of how we did when we were on Blog Talk. I'm looking at some software now that might be able to make that happen. But definitely come on, man. I want you guys to be able to call in, or even if you want to just be a guest panelist, bring some of your ideas to us. Don't let us just be the talking heads all the time. We want to hear from the community. Outside of that, man, if you're new to the Sim Standard podcast, do yourself a favor. Go ahead and subscribe. If you only like what you heard here tonight, just wait until Thursdays and watch. You don't have to watch anything else I do. But if you're into gaming, I do a little bit of that as well as a lot of you guys know I'm a diehard Steelers fan, and I do a Steelers podcast on Tuesdays. So that's what you're going to get on the channel. Outside of that, hit that like button, man. Do us a favor and hit that like button. Cut on your notifications, and we'll go ahead and I'll borrow this from Joe Budden, and I will say, I bid you adieu. All right, guys, we'll catch you next week. Y'all be good, be safe, have a safe weekend. and enjoy your families, man. We'll catch you guys next Thursday. Peace.